Today our topic is the Stoic strategy for dealing with enemies. Life is full of challenges, and one of the hardest things we face is dealing with people who might not like us, who might try to hurt us, or who stand in our way. Enemies can come in many forms. They might be people at work, in our personal lives, or even strangers who cause us trouble. The Stoics, who were ancient philosophers, had a unique way of dealing with enemies. They believed that the way we handle these situations says more about us than it does about our enemies. The Stoic strategy is not about fighting back or seeking revenge. Instead, it is about understanding, self-control, and turning negative situations into opportunities for growth. The first thing the Stoics teach us is that we cannot control other people. We can only control ourselves. This is a simple idea, but it is very powerful. When someone acts against us, our first reaction might be anger or frustration. We might want to shout, argue, or even hurt them back. But the Stoics remind us that these reactions do not solve anything. They only make the situation worse. Instead, we should focus on our own actions and thoughts. We should ask ourselves, what can I do to improve this situation? Or how can I stay calm and strong in the face of this challenge? By focusing on ourselves, we take back control. We stop letting our enemies dictate how we feel or act. Another important Stoic idea is that our enemies can actually help us grow. This might sound strange, but think about it. When someone challenges us, it forces us to become stronger, wiser, and more patient. For example, if someone criticizes us, we can use that criticism to improve ourselves. If someone tries to bring us down, we can learn to rise above their negativity. The Stoics believed that every obstacle is an opportunity to become better. They called this the concept of amor fati, which means love of fate. Instead of hating our enemies or wishing they would go away, we should accept them as part of our journey. We should even be grateful for them because they give us the chance to practice virtues like courage, patience, and forgiveness. Forgiveness is a key part of the Stoic strategy. The Stoics believe that holding on to anger or hatred only hurts us. When we refuse to forgive, we carry a heavy burden. We waste energy thinking about our enemies and plotting revenge. But when we forgive, we free ourselves from that burden. Forgiveness does not mean we forget what happened or let people treat us badly. It simply means we choose not to let their actions control our emotions. We choose to move on and focus on the things that truly matter. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, instead of trying to hurt our enemies, we should strive to be better than them. We should show kindness, integrity, and strength, even when they do not. The Stoics also teach us to see things from our enemy's perspective. This is not easy, but it is very important. When someone acts against us, it is often because they are struggling with their own problems. Maybe they are unhappy, insecure, or afraid. Maybe they have been hurt in the past and are taking it out on us. When we understand this, it becomes easier to feel compassion instead of anger. We realize that our enemies are human, just like us. They make mistakes, just like us. And just like us, they are trying to find their way in the world. Saying things from their perspective does not mean we excuse their behavior. It simply means we choose to respond with understanding instead of hatred. Another Stoic strategy is to focus on what is within our control. We cannot control what others say or do, but we can control how we react. We can choose to stay calm, even when others are angry. We can choose to be kind, even when others are cruel. We can choose to focus on our own goals and values, rather than getting caught up in conflicts. The Stoics believe that true power comes from self-control. When we master our emotions and actions, we become unstoppable. No enemy can take away our peace of mind unless we allow them to. The Stoics also remind us to keep things in perspective. When we are dealing with an enemy, it can feel like the end of the world. We might feel like everything is going wrong, and that we will never be happy again. But the Stoics encourage us to step back and look at the bigger picture. In the grand scheme of things, our problems are often small. The universe is vast, and our lives are just a tiny part of it. When we remember this, it becomes easier to let go of our worries and focus on what really matters. We realize that our enemies are not as powerful as they seem. They cannot take away our values, our character, or our ability to choose how we respond. One of the most powerful Stoic tools for dealing with enemies is the practice of gratitude. Instead of focusing on the harm our enemies have caused, we can focus on the good things in our lives. We can be grateful for our health, our friends, our family, and the opportunities we have. When we practice gratitude, we shift our attention away from negativity and toward positivity. We realize that our enemies are just a small part of our lives, and that there is so much more to be thankful for. Gratitude helps us stay strong and hopeful, even in difficult times. Finally, the Stoics teach us to accept that we cannot please everyone. No matter how kind or fair we are, there will always be people who do not like us or who want to cause us harm. This is a hard truth, but it is also liberating. When we accept it, we stop trying to win the approval of others. We stop wasting energy on people who do not deserve it. Instead, we focus on being true to ourselves and living according to our own values. We realize that the only opinion that truly matters is our own. As long as we are doing our best and staying true to our principles, we have nothing to fear from our enemies. In conclusion, the Stoic strategy for dealing with enemies is not about fighting or running away. It is about understanding, self-control, and growth. It is about focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about seeing our enemies as opportunities to practice virtues like patience, forgiveness, and compassion. It is about keeping things in perspective and staying grateful for the good things in our lives. And it is about accepting that we cannot please everyone, and that is okay. By following these Stoic principles, we can turn even the most difficult situations into opportunities for growth. We can become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And in the end, we can find peace, no matter what challenges we face.